There's a truth you were never taught. Most people do not love you. They love what you do for them. This isn't a pessimistic opinion. It's a pattern woven through human history and proven by decades of psychological research. In 1958, psychologist Harry Harlow conducted experiments with infant monkeys. He discovered that attachment is often driven less by affection and more by security and survival. When the monkeys had to choose between a cold, wire mother that fed them and a soft, comforting mother without food, they clung to the comfort. But when survival was at stake, they returned to the food. This is your first harsh truth. Most bonds are transactional. Comfort and resources. Nothing more. Consider Julius Caesar, once adored by Rome, worshipped by the Senate. But the moment his ambition threatened their interests, the same men he called friends stabbed him 23 times. Even Brutus loved Caesar until he loved power more. This is how humans operate. They love you as long as you don't stand in the way of what they want. In 1986, social psychologists Margaret Clark and Judson Mills identified two kinds of relationships: exchange relationships and communal relationships. Exchange relationships are based on reciprocity. I do for you, you do for me. Most of your connections, romantic, professional, even familial, are exchange-based. If you stop providing value, attention, money, status, the relationship erodes. This is why you see once popular celebrities fall into isolation the moment their fame fades. And this isn't just about men. Consider Britney Spears, an icon adored by millions, exploited by her own family, and discarded by the same industry that once made her a star. When her mental health declined, the public mocked her breakdown. The media turned her suffering into entertainment. Her story is proof. People love you when you're useful, when you make them money, when you feed their curiosity. But when you can no longer perform, they will leave you to collapse alone. In 2009, neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger published research on how social rejection activates the same regions in the brain as physical pain. This is why betrayal hurts so much. But here's the darker reality. Rejection isn't random. It's often a calculated choice. People weigh what you bring to the table, and if your value declines, so does their affection. Consider Nikola Tesla, a man who lit up the world with alternating current. He died penniless and alone in a New York hotel. Nobody cared, because once society extracted what it wanted, he became disposable. This is the pattern you must internalize. Humans have evolved to prioritize survival over sentiment. In 1989, evolutionary psychologists David Buss and Michael Barnes found that traits like status, resources, and appearance consistently determine attraction and attachment. Not kindness, not loyalty, usefulness. It's uncomfortable to admit, but your worth in the eyes of others is rarely about your soul. It's about what you can offer them. And the moment you can't, they will find someone who can. So what do you do with this knowledge? You stop basing your self-worth on other people's validation. You stop expecting loyalty from those who only loved your glow. You build a life rooted in purpose, not applause. Because applause dies. The Roman historian Tacitus once wrote, "The desire for safety stands against every great and noble enterprise." When you understand that most connections are conditional, you stop being afraid to walk alone, because walking alone is better than clinging to illusions. You want the harshest truth of all? Even the people who say they love you unconditionally have thresholds. There's always a line you can cross, where your failure, your sickness, your weakness makes you too inconvenient to keep around. So focus on yourself. Channel your energy into becoming something solid, not for their approval, but because purpose is the only foundation that doesn't collapse when others walk away. Build your skills, strengthen your mind, sharpen your character, because when you are anchored in purpose, you become immune to the chaos of their attention. Their presence becomes a bonus, never the reason you exist. Most won't pass that test, and that's okay, because once you stop expecting permanence, you start living honestly, detached, clear-eyed, unshakable. Welcome to the Aridhi-verse, where illusions die and reality begins. Subscribe, and never look at the world the same way again.